The next generation iPhone is here, and there are conflicting opinions about it. Some argue that it's one of the most boring iPhone models to date, thanks to the fact that it shares many of the same features as iPhones before it. Others argue that this device warrants a year-over-year upgrade, thanks to its excellent camera. The truth? Well, it kind of depends on who you are and what you care about. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps and I'd appreciate the support. At first glance, the iPhone 11 Pro does share many of the design elements as the iPhone XS, and for some, it's getting a little tired. You'll still get the same 5.8-inch display on the standard size device, or a 6.5-inch display on the Max model. You'll still get the same notch as the previous two generations too, and that seems to be something that people either hate with a passion or don't really care about. That said, there are a few differences between this device and the iPhone XS. For starters, there are new finishes like the new Midnight Green, and the back of the device is now a frosted glass instead of a glossy one. I really like the frosted glass, both in terms of look and feel. It has a nice grip too, which is handy. Then there's the biggest design change, and that's the triple lens square camera bump. It's a strange look, but you will get used to it, especially if you use your device with a case. In online images, the actual camera bumps look a lot more drastic than they actually are. I was surprised to see just how little the camera lenses protrude from the body of the device. And again, if you use a case, you won't even notice the protrusion. The performance of the new device is pretty impressive too. Like it or not, Apple has been multiple steps ahead of the competition for years now, and the iPhone 11 Pro is no exception to that rule. When it comes to benchmarks, the device scored a whopping 454,217 on Antutu, beating out even the higher performing Android phones, like the OnePlus 7T and what we've seen from the ROG Phone 2, though I haven't tested the ROG Phone 2 in person. On Geekbench 5, the device did amazingly too. It scored a massive 1,337 in its single-core score, and 3,533 in its multi-core score. Again, that's far better than any competitor. Real-world use is obviously far more important than benchmarks, and the phone is more than powerful enough for anything you can throw at it. That's true for both multitasking, which I do a lot of, and for things like mobile gaming. I've been using the device with Apple Arcade since I got it, and it's easily able to render impressive 3D graphics and more without dropping frames or crashing. Apple's hardware-software integration is better than ever here, and it shows. The battery life of the phone is impressive too. For once, Apple has actually made the phone a little thicker to fit a bigger battery inside it. It's only fractions of a millimeter thicker, but the result is an impressive 4-hour improvement over the iPhone XS, and 5 hours over the iPhone XS Max. Even as a heavy device user, I still ended most days with over 40% of the battery left. In case you take battery usage to the next level, Apple has stepped up the fast charging on the iPhone 11 Pro too. The device now finally comes with an 18-watt charger out of the box, and with it you'll get 50% of the battery back in only 30 minutes. That's great news for those that often need a quick top-up. Like previous iPhone models, the device has wireless charging too. By some metrics, the display is the same as last year. It's still an OLED display, and you'll still get a resolution of 2436 by 1125 on the iPhone 11 Pro and 2688 by 1242 on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. The display, however, is a whole lot brighter than previous generation iPhones, coming in at an impressive 800 nits brightness in normal use, and an even brighter 1200 nits in HDR. I didn't test the actual brightness, but I can say that even in direct sunlight, the display looks absolutely gorgeous. It's more than bright enough for the vast majority of use cases. The main event, of course, is the camera. For the first time, the iPhone features a triple lens camera, including one wide-angle sensor, one ultra-wide-angle sensor, and one telephoto lens. All three of the sensors are 12 megapixels, and they work seamlessly in the Apple Camera app. It's easy to switch between sensors, and Apple has put a lot of work into ensuring that using the three lenses has little or no effect on the colors of your photos. The ultra-wide lens in particular looks great. It's a super versatile camera, and that means that you can take stunning landscape shots with ease. There are other new features on offer too. For starters, there's the new night mode, which automatically switches on when it detects a low light situation. You can't switch the feature on manually, but that's by design. Apple wants the camera to do the work for you, so you can simply take the photo. It would have been nice if you could choose to have manual control, but most users don't want that or need it anyway. And you can tweak how aggressive it is by setting exposure time to max, auto, or off. In reality, I never really cared that you couldn't turn on or off the feature manually. It always switched on when I wanted to use it anyway, and while those who want to take super artistic shots may need that manual control, most simply want to take high quality photos. Another new feature is Deep Fusion, which is built for medium lit photos and leverages a bunch of algorithms to combine data from shots the device takes in the background, and makes for much more detailed photos. As of the making of this video, the feature isn't live just yet for the public, but early tests from developers are promising. The result of all this work into the camera is arguably the best smartphone camera there is. Sure, the Pixel 3 has its strengths, but I think Apple's night mode is even better than night sight, and shots look a little more natural too. In well-lit environments, the iPhone 11 Pro easily takes stunning photos every time. And, like previous iPhone models, the iPhone 11 Pro takes excellent video too. The front-facing camera offers some impressive improvements too. The front-facing camera now sits at 12 megapixels, up from the 7 megapixel sensor on the previous generation device. Portrait mode selfies are still cropped to 7 megapixels, but they still look great. Selfie videos are better too. With this camera, Apple introduced slofies. They're essentially 120 frame per second videos at 1080p. It's an interesting feature, but it's one I used once to try it out and don't anticipate using it again. Of course, the price of the iPhone is still pretty high. While other manufacturers have followed suit with their own $1,000 phones, it's still a lot of money, and there are better value for money phones out there. For most iPhone users, the standard iPhone 11 is the way to go. It'll still perform just as well, offers an excellent camera sensor even without the telephoto lens, and has an amazing battery life, all at $700. That said, if you're an iPhone user that cares about high-resolution displays and telephoto shots, then the iPhone 11 Pro is the way to go. So does the iPhone 11 Pro warrant a year-over-year upgrade? Well, probably not. Rumors indicate the iPhone 12 will be a massive improvement over the iPhone 11, perhaps even doing away with the notch and adding Touch ID back to the series under the display. That said, there are some excellent trade-in deals going, so if you take a ton of photos and need a battery boost, then getting the iPhone 11 Pro may be the way to go. You can get the iPhone 11 Pro for yourself using the link in the description. Thanks for watching. Again, please subscribe to this channel if you like this video. My name is Christian, and I'll see you next time.